Hi, my name is Hudson Lucas. Camera B, scene one, shot one, take one. Take two.
What are some behavioral biases that you've noticed within yourself?
Well, as a human being, I would have to say the illusion of explanatory depth, which ties into what we're doing right now. That can pretty much be described as if your approach with a topic you don't know much about and someone talks about it with you, people normally assume that person is quite knowledgeable on that subject, regardless of if they are or not.
Perspectives in others that have interested you?
Well, this is analogous to the shopping cart dilemma, which is if you are grocery shopping and you're in the car park and you've got a trolley and the trolley bay is quite far away, will you put it back or will you just leave it in the middle of the car park? It's a very simple dilemma, which doesn't seem like it would really mean much of anything, and I'd say it is quite context related, but generally this is used to get at like a degree of someone's morality or ethicality, I guess. I think it's quite vague in that. So I asked my friend a question about if you were driving down a dark and rarely used road at night and you hit something, would you move it off the road to prevent someone else from hitting it like you did, or would you leave it there? And he said he would leave it there because he doesn't want to touch it and it's disgusting. And that's fairly reasonable, I guess, but I was fairly surprised by that because, you know, that could be quite an issue for the next person.
What's your stance on religious beliefs?
Religion can be broken down into, I guess, several cognitive processes, including confirmation bias and the illusion of explanatory depth, which I spoke about earlier. Confirmation bias is pretty much when you have something you want to believe, you will subconsciously look for evidence of that. For example, you say a prayer and, you know, let's say I pray for good luck or something like that. As me wanting whatever I said that to be true, I will be subconsciously looking for evidence of its truth. So instead of paying attention to either bad things and then remembering that, or good things and then remembering that, I'm only paying attention to good things and only remembering those because those are what I'm looking for. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, regardless of if it's true or not. I think that can be a really great tool for anyone. It just provides instant access to a positive mindset, I guess.
Omnitheism, what is it?
So the word omni refers to sort of all or beyond or both, pretty much. And theism is roughly creator of which I believe. So what I take omnitheism as is all creators of which I believe. I don't necessarily believe them, but what I mean by that is that every religion has truth in it, because where else would it have come from then if it doesn't have some level of truth or accuracy to it?
So it's technically a religious belief in itself?
Yes, but also it's more of just a way of looking at things, I feel. It helps you approach it from both sides, you know, the evidence side and the, well, what is the psychology behind this side?
The platypus perspective analogy.
Oh, okay. There's this story in, I think it's Australian history when whites first came here. When the platypus was first discovered, no one really believed that it existed. So there were, you know, recordings about it, like people had written about them, and they said that they had the tail of a beaver, the fur of like some animal I don't remember, and the beak of a duck. And these three explorers or biologists or whatever went out to try and find it. It was a foggy day and they were by this creek behind this rock. And each of them were looking at it from a different way. So one was looking left, one was looking right, and one was looking from above. And that prevented them somehow from being able to fully see the creature. So the one on the left only saw the beak, the one on the right only saw the tail, the one on the top only saw the fur. So of course they all had completely different ideas of what it was. Like none of them agreed on what they'd seen. I feel like this is what happens with a lot of things these days that people disagree on. You know, just generally people have different interpretations of anything that anyone says, regardless of how accurate it seems. You know, I can explain something to you and you will have a slightly different mental image of it than I would. And just on that, when I add an extra concept to that, you might start to misinterpret it if your base concept is structured in the wrong way. So I think everyone should try to be aware of at least this, I guess, misinterpretation.